I think we have a minor statement there too, somewhere.
Sorry. They were like...
Well, good morning and Happy New Year. Is this on? Oh.
Yes, sir.
Good morning and Happy New Year. We'd like to call the meeting to order. We want to welcome you here today. This is a special council meeting, and we're here today to recognize Council Member Debbie Lindsay Opal, or to us, DLO, who is completing her term as a council member at large. She was appointed on June 20, 2017 to fill the vacancy created when I was elected mayor in the May 6th, 2017 special election. And I can tell you that there was a lot of people that applied for the job, but when her name surfaced, I think all of us, while there were folks that were qualified to serve, when her name surfaced, I think all of us realized that that's who we needed to pick to help fill the vacancy. And so we appreciate her willingness to do that. That's my grandson, don't pay attention to him. He's thinking I'm too long already. She brought her experience and stability to the council at a time that was very difficult for us, if you'll recall, prior to that, the resignation of the former mayor. But she was able to draw on her institutional knowledge and professional training. She hit the ground running, and she has made a wonderful contribution and difference in our community. So on behalf of the staff and my fellow council members and the citizens of Corpus Christi, Debbie, we want to thank you for your service, your willingness to serve, and we just want to offer our thanks on behalf of the citizens of Corpus Christi for your service, and we wish you well. She made a business decision and did not seek re-election this time. And for those of you that are in business and that do serve, and if you are the producer in your business, you realize that it is a sacrifice to run. For those of us that are fortunate that you have people working for you, they want to get you out of the office, so they really get behind you and hope you get elected. But if you're the one generating the funds and you have to leave your office to come do public service, it's because your heart is there and you've got a desire to serve, and we appreciate that, and it was a great sacrifice. But she will be leaving us at the end of this meeting as far as being a council member, but she's still actively and going to be actively involved in the community, so she's going to be around for a long time. And I'd like to give her an opportunity now to share some of her thoughts and share with us some of her pearls of wisdom for the future. So DLO, you're on.
Mayor,
and we've got, you can speak as long as you want. The microphone is going to be turned off in 3 minutes.
My reputation precedes me. You know, one of the things that I have to lead off with is what you said. It's when you serve as a council member, I did a quick back of the napkin review, and just on the formal meetings since I've been a council member, there's been well over 100 of them. The longest one I came across was we started at 9:30 with a TERS meeting, and we ended up at 10:48 after a very long executive session. So the ability for individuals to come and be a part of this process, you have to love it. You have to do, it has to be in your DNA to want to do that. Because of my background and experience with the City of Corpus Christi as an employee and in my professional experience, I added it up, and I think there's probably been somewhere between 400 and 500 meetings that I've attended, council meetings of this council or other councils. So it is something that I truly, truly respect and appreciate. I want to start off with a quote from a great leader. It says, "Fate rarely calls upon us at a moment of our choosing." Those of you who follow the Transformers, you'll know that was Optimus Prime. But it's appropriate because this council has truly transformed. At the time when I put my name in the hat, I've seen a lot of councils and I've seen a lot of times in history, and the council that was in place was a council I wanted to be a part of. The people that had gone through what this council went through with professionalism and poise and just kept things moving for the citizens of Corpus Christi. It was something that a group of individuals that I wanted to hang out with. Not to say that we don't have differences of opinion, and that's generally a good thing, to have a difference of opinion. You get a diversity of ideas, unless, of course, you're not agreeing with me. But I want to thank the mayor and the council members for their confidence. I've learned something from each and every one of you. I do want to thank Jessica Davila-Burnett. She was the one that was on that phone call on Wednesday. So if you want to know who to blame, it's Jessica. Because when I said, you know, people are asking me to do this, and she said, why don't you? And so we talked back and forth, and I do have to share one thing, though. Alexa is a scary thing. So she and I talked on the phone. She showed up one day with this, and it's called a city council game. And she said, Dilo, I don't know how this happened. She said, we opened this box with Amazon and this was in it. So apparently she and I were talking and Alexa picked it up and ordered it automatically and it just came. So I'm going to go to her house and we're going to play this game, and if she wins, I'm going to be mad. I want to thank our interim city manager and our city staff. You know, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, guys. Nothing really gets done in the city unless the staff does it. Or doesn't. The staff is the heartbeat of the city. Every single day, there are about 3,000 folks out there trying to make this thing work. And the council has a big job to try to help establish the oversight, to help put those things together. But if we don't have hardworking staff out there thinking and doing, it really does get everybody tripped up. So, you know, I clearly could not do this without the support of my family. My husband Pete is here. Tony's at work selling cars. If you need one, let me know. Or I couldn't have done it without friends, the friends on this council. You know, I see friends in the audience, Carolyn and Lucy. You guys were awesome. Steve, Leah, Mary, Larry, Virginia, Claudia, Ken, Amy. I mean, I could just go on. It is so amazing when people will take your calls when all sometimes you want to do is vent. And they give you good advice and good counsel, and you can take that and make it a part of that. I've worked with so many professionals. I see Alyssa Barrera in the audience. I think those of us on this council see that kind of commitment as a city employee, and many others in this room. I hate to call one out because it makes you think I didn't see you, but that's not true. This is a profession. It's a passion, and we're really honored to have so many of the employees who want to be there. And I know there's so many other people that I forgot to thank. It's one of those situations that you start and you don't know where to stop. But I do have one more. I don't see him in the room, but one more shout out who probably had the biggest burden of keeping things going while I was doing this work is Juan Canchola. I could not ask for a better employee, a friend, a graphic designer, or someone who just really makes three-dimensional development, my company, look good. He does a great job. There is one other group of people I'm going to recognize, and you guys may think I'm a little crazy, but I want to recognize our media. You know, the council sits here and there's 40 or 50 items on an agenda every single week, and the media has a job of helping tell the city's story, and I've found them to be very respectful and responsive. Sometimes the stories they tell are the ones we wish they didn't. But I think that if we continue to build relationships and advance our future together, we're going to get the right stories out about this community. I have a really long list of things that I'm proud of. I'm so glad I have 30 minutes. Just kidding. I know you guys would definitely cut my mic. But on the advice of some of those friends I mentioned earlier, I'm going to keep it short. First, I am proud, thank you, Mayor, to have served as the chair of the Utility Business Office Committee along with Mr. Smith and Mr. Roy. The final ordinance revisions are complete, but they did not come before this council for a vote because we sort of had scope creep on what our committee did. It was delayed because of the challenges created as a result of some staff and vendor issues that created problems in generating accurate utility bills. You guys may have heard something about that. Well, I just want to say the real heroes in that effort were Ms. Sanchez and her team in the utility billing office. They neither created the issues nor really had the power to fix them, but Ms. Marine and the UBO team would not give up. And I am proud to have supported them by working with the interim city manager to bring on the consultant, Pete Collins, to help us do that. Sometimes consultants do bring a little something to the mix that cities can use, and so we really appreciate all the hard work that went into getting that fixed. And I don't think we've talked about that now in several weeks. So you're on the right track. You know, some things were not as easy to accomplish, such as appointing a North Beach task force and providing a little funding to get this long overlooked jewel of our city get a little love and attention. But I'm looking forward to seeing the results. Mr. Blackard brings an opportunity to us in terms of his expertise and where he's been and the miles that he's walked. And I think it's going to help get North Beach activated in a way that might not have happened otherwise had we not been able to do that. And I encourage the staff and the council, let's keep working with him. Let's keep it moving. This is something that I think will transform the city as that bridge transforms along the way. You know, one of the other things that was a little problematic was the Elite Sports Complex. It wasn't the project itself. I initially kind of had a difference of opinion when they brought the contract adjustment, but here's the issue. If someone wants to use city property, basically they should pay market rates for it. 200 acres for free just didn't make any sense at the time, and I don't think it's going to make any sense in the future. We can't give special interest special advantages, and more importantly, no business would take that deal. I hope the next council won't take that deal either. You know, there's so much more. We set the stage for the long-term water supply. We successfully navigated Hurricane Harvey. We put steps in place to have a permanent city manager in place. We're helping our citizens who need to be heard. And overall, we just have a great time working with great people every single week. So I want to talk about the future here real quickly. I just have to say, we have a fantastic city. We are in a place of envy from cities across the U.S., not just Texas. I shared a story recently with the staff about a traveler long ago who was entering the city, and the sentry was at the gate. And the traveler asked the sentry, he said, "So tell me, what are the people like in this city?" And the traveler said, "The people are mean, they're argumentative, they're short-sighted." And the sentry said, "You will find those people here." Not long after, another traveler came to the gate and asked the sentry the same question. And the sentry said the same to him. And so the traveler said, "Well, the people where I come from, they're kind and generous, they're lively, and they're visionary." And the sentry looked at him and said, "You'll find those people here." And ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you that you find what you're looking for. And what I look for are all the amazing opportunities that we have in Corpus Christi, and I hope that we don't overlook them. We want to be moving forward. We want to take the advantages that we have. You know, this council that's coming in, it's going to look a little different. And I think it's going to create some challenges. I was just having a conversation about we've gone from a majority of this council being female, and Ms. Guajardo, you're going to be holding up the banner. And that's not a good thing or a bad thing. We also have a council that has 5 council members that have Hispanic heritage. And that is a good thing. The diversity that you see in our community is being reflected in the people that are here to guide it. So as I close this out, and I will, I am honored to have worked with folks like Carolyn and Lucy. I'm going to be joining you now on the other side of the dais. So you'll see us in the back room. We're probably going to come and hang out. Really appreciate all the guidance and caring and concern you guys shared. And for all of you who are coming in, it is going to be a great ride. We don't always agree, and I hope you understand that's not the goal. Because if all of us think alike, then only one of us is needed. And so I think that's really shown in this group. But what's most important, and what I want to leave you with, is that it's not the last battle that we have to fight. You're going to win, you're going to lose, it's going to come, it's going to go, but you need to leave them behind. Because we've had some differences of opinion, we've been a little prickly, and we've left kind of in a huff. But you got to shake it off. You've got to come back, because it's what's ahead. And I see engineers, and I see friends, and I see folks who are doing business in so many different ways. And I have to say that what's ahead of us are our best days. And I'm so glad that I had a chance to be a part of it. Thank you all so much. Look at you.
like to give the council members an opportunity to express a word or two, if you would. Just, Greg, if you'll start and work our way. I've already made my comments, so let's move this way, and then I'll ask the council to gather with me down here in the pit.
Don't call it the pit.
Yeah. I've had the fortune
Can you turn your mic on, please?
to work with Delo for years. And one thing about her, I found she's not a type A personality. She's a AAA. And there's no want of opinion on there. She's the Energizer Bunny Deluxe. And I can say the next council will not be the same. That she's brought just a tremendous enthusiasm, and we'll miss you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, yes. So Debbie, is this on? Hello? Yes. Sorry. We are sad to see you leave because it's never, change is always good, but it's bittersweet. And so I too thank you for what you've brought, the wisdom you've brought to this council in the time that you were here. I think you were a blessing, and you'll still be around. It's not like you're leaving, but for good. But thank you for everything you brought forth to the council. I appreciate it.
Debbie, it's been great having you on the council. I know that when you came up and you were interviewing with us, you said, hey, you wanted to take that seat right next to me when I was sitting on that end of the dais. And I've appreciated your great contributions to the council. You've helped steady the council at a time that we desperately needed it. We had a lot of things to overcome. You brought some insights in terms of reflecting back on what went well with Hurricane Harvey, what things we could have done better, how we might communicate with the media. And so I appreciate your great contributions. I also know it's a great sacrifice, being a business owner myself, and the revenue that you lose not being able to do the things that you do when you're able to focus on your business. So I can respect the decision you made, and I appreciate your contributions to the city of Corpus Christi, and particularly this council. I'm going to miss you.
Debbie, as the newest member of council, I especially want to thank you just for the wisdom and the times that you pulled me aside and gave me a little input on as we were approaching certain things. I appreciate one of the things that you said to me, being military most of my life, and this thing called military bearing and not being able to smile. And you pulled me aside and said, you know what, you really need to smile more. And I said, okay, I'm going to work on that. And every time I see you, I smile. But I smile because the work that you've done and the things that you've brought to the table is because you have a history of working in this community and being part of boards and committees and all the things that we've talked about. And you said, oh, I was on that board, I was on that committee. And we're going to miss your expertise, but it's nice that I'm sure that hopefully that we can continue to draw on it when needed. And I will certainly miss you. Thank you.
Debbie, I'm really glad that I've had this opportunity to work with you and get to know you more. I count it an honor to call you my friend. Thank you so much for all that you've done for us, not just up here at the dais, but like Councilmember Everett had said, all those times that we've been in other meetings and you've offered input and advice. I'm really appreciative of that. So thank you. I do hope that I can emulate some of your boldness, both in here and out in public.
Can't wait to see it, Ben. I always said be like Ben. He was.
So thank you, and I'm looking forward to continue to see you out in service, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Council member, I never knew that was the correct term until you told me. Council member, that's how it is across the table, and I appreciate that. Debbie's been like a mother to me since I was a little boy. And it's been very interesting to see her in this position because she never lost her motherly touch. And she's been great fantastic. The contributions you made to the community have been tremendous. There was a point where Ben and I would wonder, you know, who would be the strongest lady up here between you, Paulette, Lucy, and Carolyn, but there were definitely times that you shined, and you proved to young ladies everywhere what they can accomplish and what you can do up here. You haven't just been a mentor to me. I have seen your effects ripple throughout the city, especially with our younger generations. And people really are looking up to you and look up to you, and they will always, as long as you continue being a champion. So thank you for everything that you've done.
Council, if you'll join me down here, we have a little gift we'd like to give you.
For Debbie.
Oh, it's just signed.
He doesn't have a will.
Close the case.
Well, we come down here, the well, I'm sorry, I referred to it as a pit. What is it?
The key.
The key.
Nobody wants to go to the well.
No, everybody wants to come to the well when they come up here. So, but anyway, we come down here when we have special proclamations and presentations and gifts, and so I thought it'd be appropriate for the council to join me down here. We have a gift from the council and the city to give to you to, I don't know that you'll need to be reminded, but this will be a reminder that you are appreciated and loved. And it says, Debbie Lindsay Opal, Council Member at Large, City of Corpus Christi, June 2017 to January 2019, with grateful appreciation for your service. So we will give you some time back. That's a clock. You can just, you'll see how slowly time goes without being here.
It's gonna be awful.
So again, thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your contribution to the city. To each one of us, you've made an impact, and to me, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, well, we're going to adjourn this meeting, and you can stand up and stretch. We'd invite Debbie to stick around if you want to have the installation of the new council. And then following that service, the installation service comes to conclusion. We'll have a reception out in the foyer, and at that point, if Debbie's still here, get a chance to hug her neck and thank her for her service too. Now, because we'd like for you to have that opportunity, but we're going to be running pretty tight on time. But stand up and stretch a second, and then we'll get started at 10 o'clock. Oh yeah, Carolyn and Lucy, yeah, come complete the team. Where are you?
Yeah.
I can't even find them. Where are they?
They're back. Carolyn, Lucy.
Carolyn? I can tell Carolyn's a Baptist. We got empty seats at the front, and she sat at the back. Us Baptists are good at that. Huh? Oh, you're not a Baptist. All right. Well, you need to be. All right, we're going to get a picture. Now, this is who Debbie served with while we were together. Thank you.